Hey, podcasters. If you feel like today's podcast is not enough, there is a
ton more
of Riot content that you may have missed out on. Last night was our game night.
We did a first ever Riot game night where we played Ticket to Ride. That's a board game. It's a very popular one with Hudson. So you can watch that video if you go to our RadioU Facebook page or our show page at RadioU Riot and our RadioU Riot YouTube channel. But then we also did a pre-live video where we went and bought the snacks for the event. And that was just as long as our game night.
Just as long. Just as long.
And hopefully you'll enjoy watching those this weekend.
So there's that. Today in the podcast, we talk DDR, Universal Studios, how we bought these donuts and can't eat them. Things you shouldn't do when you break into someone's house. We talk snacks, the WWE.
And
Amazon,
a new deal.
Pools, like all kinds of stuff. So you guys enjoy the podcast. Have a fantastic Memorial Day weekend.
Because we will not be here on Monday. So your next podcast will come Tuesday.
All right. So you guys have a great week, and we'll see you later. Bye.
You don't have to apologize unless you've done something wrong.
Well, I'm sorry. I can't even think straight right now.
This is the worst of the riot. We're very, very sorry.
Welcome to Higher or Lower.
Okay, so yesterday, if you missed it, there's actually, if you want extra Riot in your life, there's so much.
You got hours of it.
Just go to Facebook.com/RadioU because we had the pre-show show.
We yesterday went snack shopping for our Ticket to Ride event, and that was over an hour.
It was.
And we all Facebook Lived it.
We totally did. So you can go snack shopping with us. You can
and
see
car driving.
You can see our GameStop and our frozen yogurt place and all of that.
We point everything out.
We do.
So we have that. That's on our Facebook page.
There's that. And then there's also last night's Riot Live event of us actually playing Ticket to Ride in the studio, which everyone said was a lot quieter than they thought it would be. But it was, you know.
Well, you mean they thought we were going to be like upturning tables or something or yelling at each other?
Everybody, I like the one girl whose name I can't remember. She was like, yeah, you guys seem like you're playing poker. And Chris did a great job, and Eric too, because they did it together, getting it all set up.
Yeah.
And it turned out really well.
When we were snack shopping, though, we located some donuts, and we thought, okay, that's perfect. We'll have them this morning because we're very tired last night. And yes, there was a long day. Let's have them this morning, and I don't see what the problem is. They're little mini donuts.
They're little chocolate donuts. Okay? They're Intamins. Normally, I would get Hostess
ones?
But for whatever reason, these just looked a little better to me. So
well, the Hostess only had the double chocolate or the powdered sugar.
I'm going to open these up because maybe they're bigger. Maybe that's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they're bigger.
That's what the company said. You know what? Let's give them more bang for their buck.
Let me see, because maybe they're bigger than like.
Well, when we were also at the grocery,
they're exactly the same size as a Hostess donut of this kind.
When we were, snack shopping,
oh
we also
they smell good.
We went to the grocery store, and Obi was showing us these cookies with icing in between. I thought, oh my gosh, I totally want one.
Yeah.
Then we saw, because, you have to disclose the calorie count on them, 920 calories for this cookie thing.
Should have just got it.
I know, but it's knowing what else we were going to eat, I didn't think we could do that. So how many are in this?
Should have just got it.
Let's say 3 donuts.
3 donuts is a serving size.
In a serving size. I'd like to think it's 50 calories a donut.
Okay.
I'm going to say 150. 300. How can it be more? They're tiny donuts. 350? 350 calories?
340 calories. 14 grams of fat, which, by the way, it says right here that's 70% of your daily value.
Of just in these 3 mini
The part that I don't get, though,
donuts?
And, okay, it's misleading. It's misleading. Oh, my gosh. Flip it over. That's 14 grams of saturated fat.
Yeah.
Total fat in 3 of these little donuts, 25 grams of fat.
How much protein? Any protein? Nothing? How much sugar?
2 grams.
2 grams. Oh, this is really bad for you.
I had one of those like Sara Lee breakfast whatevers. It's a big old thing full of like egg whites and meat and whatever. 240 calories.
Less than this? I am going to pass on that.
I actually am thinking I don't want to eat this.
I could eat the whole bags of chips that we have in there, and I think I'm still going to clock in less than this.
And, well, I do want to say, and just to be clear, the homemade peanut butter Rice Krispie treat thing we have, if you think that doesn't have a calorie count posted on it, so it feels better, but it can't be any worse than or better than this.
How do you know? We don't know.
You know what? You're right.
There's no calories on it.
We'll just say what we say.
In our mind, we're like, oh, it's just better for us. If you think a box of Rice Krispies, a serving, maybe put it at 100. Mm-hmm. And then you put half a Reese peanut butter cup. Okay. So like we're probably at 200 calories.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is, I think, maybe the first time I've seen a calorie count on something that's made me go, no way. No way.
No to the donuts that we got for our morning breakfast.
Shocking, friends.
But yeah, you're right. There are way more than when someone brings us a donut.
I don't know what they're putting in these things. So they must taste amazing. So I'm going to go put them in the break room and forget they're there.
Mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Chief, she's...
Coffee and contemplation.
And the Riot. Obviously. Radio U.
Oh, boy. Big fat rumors. Not that we're body shaming. Okay. But
just rumors.
Okay, you're right. Big rumors.
Just rumors. We don't even use the B word.
Okay. Can we say large? Or is that also...
Ginormous. You can go with that.
Okay. Where were we? Oh.
It's not a word. Yes. What is it?
It is a word.
Well, not. It's
Buddy
a movie
the Elf
word.
said it.
It's a movie
real.
word.
It's real. Where do you think language comes from? There's a rumor floating that at Universal Orlando, we're going to be getting, and by we, I mean we that are willing to pay an insane amount of money for it.
I still feel like it's not as much as Disney, so I don't know. It could very well be.
Star Trek Land.
Oh, boy.
So a series
We were up here, and then like the energy went down here.
You feel like it came down?
I feel like it did.
I feel like you're just...
Do they own the rights to it, or is that a partnership?
They do not, but they would be looking to partner with... Who I don't even know who owns Star Trek. Whatever. Somebody, something Star Trek. I don't know. Like Paramount makes the movies. CBS makes the TV shows these days. I don't know. But yeah, that's the word.
Maybe they're a nonprofit.
I'm sure that's what it is.
Actually, the parent companies are Paramount Pictures and then CBS Television Studios.
Well, there you go. So that is the rumor that's going to be happening because, what do you call it? Disney is getting Star Wars Land.
They actually say this is going to compete. Well, they think it'll compete with that.
They think it might be able to compete with Star Trek Land. Star Wars Land. Star Land, something. Some kind of stars. Wars or Treks.
It'll be that. It'll be Star Trek Land.
Mm-hmm.
At Universal Studios, but only Orlando?
Only in Orlando, yeah. Well, I mean, who the heck knows? Like, they say that, but then it ends up at... What's the one in California called?
Universal Studios.
Is it just Universal Studios California?
Still just Universal Studios.
Well, there's Disney World and Disneyland.
No, I don't think
didn't know if
I don't think they change it.
Universal Studios had their own thing. So it got me thinking, like for you, Nikki, if there was a franchise that could be turned into a park, of something that you like, what would it be?
Well, they did the movie about it, which I thought was poorly done. But Austin Land.
Mm-hmm.
Little Jane Austen.
Yeah, okay.
A little stroll about the theme park.
Or around the room. Walk around the room.
Walk around the room.
I've caught Nikki taking walks around the room.
Well, if I'm stretching. Just want to walk around.
Seems like the same thing, right?
It does.
Get out the fainting couch. I walked all the way to the kitchen.
I just need to grab a book and walk it around with me.
Perfect.
So I don't know if there's anything more modern that I would be interested in.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to admit, I would be interested in Star Trek Land.
Yes,
I have
you
thought
would.
of...
You are why they're doing this.
I actually would be more interested in this than the Disney stuff.
Really?
I don't know why, but I just would. So I think the idea of Star Trek Land sounds cool. I have thought about there's that thing up in New York State where the guy has completely rebuilt all of the sets from the original Star Trek, and you can buy a ticket and go up and
you can tour them?
I've thought about it. No, I'm not doing it, but I have thought about it.
I was going to say, is that the type of place where I need to be downstairs, and if you don't come out within 30 minutes, I'm supposed to call the police?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
I don't want them coming out and telling me that you now want to live there forever, and that's your choice. You're never coming out.
Well.
But it's not. You've been taken captive.
You know what? I would probably...
I was supposed to call you Captain.
I would probably stay willingly.
I'm just making sure. Just double checking.
Yeah. We'll have a signal. They're like, he told us to tell you that he loves you and goodbye.
He's
and you'd be
lying.
like, I knew it. I'm calling the police.
He's stuck in there.
I'm
And
calling
then
the police.
I have to come get you out because you bought a ticket to this place. I don't want to go there.
All right. Well, you know what? I had a lot of fun at Universal Orlando last year. I thought it was a great place. I mean, some of the rides are lame, but isn't that everywhere?
Sometimes you need an expensive trip to a theme park for a lame ride.
Yeah. So, I mean, isn't that what we're all working towards?
The Riot talks about wanting a day off, but when do we get a day off from them?
Whoa! You suck at this!
It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
So last night, our Facebook event is posted. It was amazing. We played Ticket to Ride with Hudson. It was our first ever game night, which I think went well enough. We should look at another game for some time in the future.
I agree with you.
I don't know which one, but...
Though, Nikki, let's not forget that we don't really need a new game because we already have one.
Which one are you talking about? Oh, DDR.
Mm-hmm.
I left the note in my car, so I'll have to look up their names. But we have two amazing listeners from the Pennsylvania area who were so sweet. Yesterday, we opened up this giant box, and it was saying riot control, and I was like, why is it riot control? It doesn't look like food will be in there.
Well, you know, the thing that gets me is it said riot control, so I don't think you were actually supposed to open that.
That was for me. It said my name on it.
Did it say Nikki riot control?
Well, on the note, it says Nikki.
I know, but riot control that's me.
Oh, is that your side?
So I didn't want to talk to you about it, but I feel like I have to now.
I shouldn't have opened it up.
I feel like I have to.
Well, what had
now.
happened is a couple of weeks ago, Obi played.
Wait, is it on?
Yeah, it should be on. I think there it is.
Max 2!
Let's max!
Obi played something called Beat Saber a couple of weeks ago, which is a virtual reality game. You do movements similar to like DDR or Guitar Hero.
Well, it's like think Guitar Hero, but with lightsabers instead of a guitar.
Yeah, and that made us think about our DDR days, and none of us still have any of those games or the dance pads, and we talked about it, and I asked if anyone had any, so they sent us theirs just alone, so we can play it as long as we want, and then we mail it back to them.
I told Nikki we need to do a Riot Live or an
DDR
Obadiah
event?
Plays or whatever the heck you want to call it. We need to play DDR. Boy, it's hard to focus with all that noise.
is.
It is so noisy.
So
Right?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to play this weekend. We're off on Monday for the holiday.
Dude, I want to hear all about it, and then I want to play when you're done.
Yeah, you can totally borrow it too.
And we need to stream it. Like, Nikki, you can get your skills up this weekend.
And get ready.
And then, we'll stream some DDR.
Dude, that'll take us a trip back.
I'm looking forward to it. Like, I haven't played DDR in a while, and that is
Thank
a
you guys so much
great
for
game.
sending that. That was so sweet to see that.
Yeah. So if you guys are wondering, we have our next game.
One of the only things left that isn't owned by Disney. The Riot on Radio U.
Michael Rotondo. He has captured the imagination of a nation because...
So can I guess who he is, if
Go-
I remember?
yeah,
Is
go
he
ahead.
the 30-year-old older man who has had to have a court tell him that he needed to get out of his parents' house?
As a matter of fact, it is, Nikki. That's
Okay,
him.
I'm just making sure.
That is him. He has to, according to the court order, be out by June 1st. Now, if
I
you've
wonder
ever...
if cameras will be waiting.
If you've ever had the unfortunate or, I don't know, fortunate experience of being ordered out by the court, depending on the state, a lot of times what will happen is the sheriff will show up
Yeah.
and they'll force you out. And if they, again, depending on the state, it's one of those things that if you don't move out, I think they will hire movers and then bill you for it. And they will literally carry your stuff to the street corner.
And
That's
then
it.
if your stuff is at the street corner for so long, because I watched this episode of Hoarders.
Oh, my gosh.
And if it's still there past a certain amount of time, then the city will just take this stuff and destroy it.
Yeah.
So then you just lose all your stuff.
So I don't know what's happening with this guy, but people are talking to him. Here he is doing an interview with Syracuse.com. I don't know. He's doing, it looks like Good Morning America or something, but they asked him like, hey, what are you going to do? And he's like, well, the court's ordered me out by June 1st, but I don't have a job, so I can't afford the boxes that I need.
Oh, but yet he's doing interviews, which you get paid for.
He can't afford the boxes, Nikki.
People can donate that. Let's not let that be an excuse. We all can work together and give him boxes.
Well, here's some news. There's a place called Villa Italian Kitchen, which apparently they have 250 locations worldwide. They have offered him a job.
Oh, I don't think he actually wants to work.
Of course he does, Nikki. He's just had difficulty finding a job.
No, he said he's in litigation with Best Buy because he couldn't work on Saturdays. So that's why he says he can't work.
Now, this is their exact wording. I can't tell if this was on Facebook or Twitter, but said, hey, Michael, we're offering you a store-level gig. What does that mean?
A store-level gig?
So, I mean, I assume that means like, hey, you'll work at a store.
That may be similar to his last job.
Okay. And I love this. They're giving him a signing bonus. They said, your parents offered you $1,100 to move out. We will give you a signing bonus of $1,101.
$1. Oh, nice. Just to sign up. That's asking a lot. I just don't think this guy wants to do anything. And I think that's why he was having a hard time leaving the house.
That could be. So,
and I normally like most people, but something about this man just strikes me wrong.
And the other thing I will tell you is there is part of me that's just like, when you hear him talk, you're like, oh, man, I felt kind of sad for this guy. Like, he had some kind of, like, he's got a son. There was some kind of issue. And, he had to move home. He's been out of work. And then there's a magic number that gets involved that suddenly makes me feel less sorry for him. He's been living with his parents for 8 years. So all of those things that happened that forced him to move back with his parents happened when he was 22. He's now 30.
It's been a long time.
So in 8 years, he's been unable to,
get it together.
And
I'm going to, this is what I actually believe. I feel like you could still be 30 and live with your parents and be just fine if you're behaving right.
Sure.
So there was obviously other issues that made it uncomfortable for him to still be with his parents. His parents didn't want him there anymore.
Well, to be clear, I'm actually with you. I don't think there's anything wrong with multi-generational living. It's
very common in most other countries.
It's common in other countries. I don't think it would be such a bad thing here in the United States. We could all help each other, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I don't think it's bad. But this guy, he refused to help around the house, refused to pay rent, refused to contribute.
Wouldn't go work.
At that point,
that's the problem I have. Not the 30 must be a magical number where you can't be with your parents. I don't think so.
This was the guy who in college, when you ordered pizza, and he showed up and ate pizza, but never helped pay for the pizza.
Dude, he showed up from his parents' house, came over just to eat the pizza and leave. He wasn't even at the dorm. That wasn't him.
I love it so much. I want to move out, I do, but I can't afford the boxes.
That's I'm sure the parents already offered to give the boxes.
It's not a problem, son. We have here a stack of boxes we're going to donate to your cause. Now start packing.
Let me help.
Recycling paper is like planting a tree. Recycling the riot is like burning down the rainforest.
We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
It's probably the websites that Nikki and I look at, but I feel like every day there's another article that's like, if you're fat, we're going to fix it with this.
Well, I think one leads to the other.
It's a pill. It's exercise. It's this diet. It's that diet. It's like on and on and on.
But as you look at one, then the next time you go to another site, I think they just know.
Oh, so how about this one? Now they've developed a nose plug that they want you to wear.
So we can't eat?
So they say that tests show that for a lot of obese people, you have a more sensitive sense of smell. And so when, somebody walks by with a pizza, you're getting bombarded with far more intense sensations than, your skinny friend, apparently.
So you can't say no to it because you're being just inundated with it. Your senses are going crazy.
Mm-hmm. Which is why, hey, it's not enough that whatever, now you've got to wear this big nose plug.
I think I need a nose plug, and then you got to put a blindfold on or something.
See, I reject this idea because I can tell you right now, I can't smell anything. I can't smell anything. But
is it seeing it that will trigger it? Then, that looks great. Or is it just what?
No, I think my problem is I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I'm not a particularly I'm dying I have cravings for food all the time. I'm just a lazy eater. I'm just like, you know what? What's going to take the least amount of effort? Okay, let's do that.
Let's go with those chicken fingers.
Yeah. So do they have a drive-through? Better. Does it deliver? Even better. Will they come in the door if I leave it unlocked? Perfect.
We'll take that for dinner.
So I think that's probably my biggest hurdle.
So not necessarily then, for this article, does that work with you since your sense of smell is not as heightened?
Well, I don't think it is, but maybe it is and I don't know it. but they want to stick this thing up my nose. They say they'll stick this up your nose, and what it's going to do
How
is...
far up your nose?
I don't know.
I thought it was like a nose plug, like at the bottom when you swim.
The other thing I want to know is how long does it stay in there? And, sometimes I pick my nose in my sleep. What if I get it out?
You do not.
You don't know?
So what do you do, though?
I don't even know.
So it stays in your nose then?
I don't know.
Does it send out another smell or just blocks your smell?
No, the idea is that it's able to reroute the air so that it bypasses your sense of smell. So, hey, guys, now you can't smell anything at all. But you could call this an Obadiah simulator.
I feel like when I hear this article, warning bells, or just, a little, hey, maybe don't stick the thing up your nose. I guess I was always taught that when I was little. Little Nikki was always told, hey, let's not stick things up our nose.
I didn't
Not that I ever did.
I didn't even think about it until you said that, but we could totally do the same thing with some Play-Doh.
Yeah, you could do a marble, anything.
Just stick it up there and you're like, oh yeah, I don't smell anything. And I've lost so much weight.
One pizza.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
So if you cover our eyes, stick something up our nose...
and lock us in a room with no food,
then we are guaranteed to lose some weight.
It's totally going to work, guys. I feel great about it.
Don't want to talk to the Riot? We completely understand. Text instead. 877-2-RADIO-U.
If you guys have been paying attention to the Riot, we're huge fans of live events. Live Facebook games of us playing Ticket to Ride, which you can see on our Facebook page now.
Hudson won, by the way, last night. It was a great game.
So, that's big. But the other thing that we're huge fans of are live musicals on broadcast networks.
Yeah. Oh, really? We
just, can't get enough.
Let's see. What are some of the ones that we've enjoyed?
I am guilty of watching the first hour of A Christmas Story live.
Sure.
The one that Fox did.
Didn't they do a Grease one? And then wasn't there a Sound of Music? He's shrugging his shoulders.
I think all of that's true. I haven't watched
just don't
any
know
of
for
them.
sure.
I
Okay.
haven't watched a single one.
Well, is there more coming?
Well, with the exception of that 1 hour of A Christmas Story musical, and that's when I realized this isn't very good. It was technically good, but I didn't like it, and it was 3 hours long.
That's the biggest problem we have. I think an hour tops. You really got to cut down.
Well, the flip side is these musicals performed on, a Broadway stage.
I paid to go to that.
You've paid $100 almost at a minimum to get in there.
So you don't mind 3 hours. You really want your money's worth.
You want 3 hours.
Yes. But on television, no, I don't need 3 hours of anything.
Well, Nikki, NBC doesn't hear you.
NBC just loves these things.
They're like, hey, remember Jesus Christ Superstar? I got your next one. Hair.
That was the last one. Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah, that was at Easter.
Yes.
And so now they're like, we're doing hair. I don't know when, though.
And who's in it?
Spring of 2019.
Oh, I can't wait.
Let's see. No, I don't know. I don't know that they've cast it yet. They've just announced that they're going to do it, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.
So, which musical would you like to see live, Nikki?
I used to go see musicals sometimes with my grandma when I was really young, and that was fun because we would go to the theater and see it.
Make no mistake, I enjoy a live Broadway musical.
That was awesome. That's an experience.
It is. It's like going to a football game or like a baseball game.
Exactly. It's more exciting when you're there and in the moment.
I saw The King and I 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I get it.
I think the favorite one when I was young was Cats. With it, so maybe.
All Alone in the Moonlight.
Oh, memories.
What
if NBC did Cats with real cats? Oh my gosh, 3 hours.
You guys,
I'd watch.
NBC, don't you understand? The internet loves cats.
We do. I love cat videos.
They love cat videos.
They were singing and dancing.
You're doing a musical. It's a video. It's cats. It's everything.
Can I please be in the meeting when someone pitches that? I really want to. They're like, yeah, we want to do Cats. All right, great. Let's cast it. Let's start working. Who wants to do it? And then they're like, no. With actual cats.
We're doing this with real cats.
You could maybe work with shelters or, bring in some new talent and then get them adopted. That sort of thing.
It's going to be...
Oh, I see it.
It's perfect.
I see it now.
Where were we on that? It's right there.
And then people could be like, yes, I was the voice of the main cat.
Wait, are you telling me the cats aren't the ones singing?
They're not.
I'm
They're
out.
not. They're
I'm
not.
out. Forget about it. Man, the magic is just gone now.
But instead, you just get hair.
Hair. So
That'll be in next spring on NBC for their next musical.
Yeah, so they're casting actual hair as the parts in hair.
Okay, now we will watch, too.
You're listening to the worst of the riot.
Today sucks.
Radio U.
I mean, I've told you guys before, I don't condone it, but I understand it. Sometimes you have to break into people's house and eat their ice cream.
It's just a given every so often. Not too much, because you're not supposed to have too much ice cream. Or break into things.
You know what, Nikki, though? Like, sometimes if it's a cheat day, I say you just...
On cheat day, you can really cheat.
You just go for it, you know? Like, you break into that home. They look like an ice cream house.
I was going to say, how do you know then they have ice cream?
Well, if you've been scouting it out long enough, you've been going through their trash, finding out what kind of flavors they like.
Seeing their groceries.
Yeah, and then if you wait until you find, a thing of ice cream in the trash, then you watch to see when they go to the grocery store, and then you break in later while they're gone.
Are you
course.
sure they weren't breaking in for something else and then they just happened to find the ice cream?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure.
Not 100%.
Yeah. What we've got here is a guy who he ended up breaking into the house and eating the ice cream. And again, I've told you guys a lot of times, if you are going to break in, there's one rule that you never, ever break. You never break the clothes rule. You always leave your clothes on the whole time you're in the house.
Did he take his clothes off and then eat the ice cream?
He's just sitting there in his...
How hot was it?
That's a great question, Nikki.
Did they not have their air on?
That's a great question. But he was just in his boxers eating ice cream.
Making himself at home.
And again, he made the mistake. There were people there. He called the police, or they called the police. He ran. And this is why you leave your clothes on. When the police are chasing you, it's not that hard for them to find out, it was you. Because you're in your boxers.
Yeah, or maybe he left his wallet in his pants.
No, he stole the wallet of the people whose house he was at.
He's really stealing,
He's just not thinking it through. So he ended up actually getting grabbed at the elementary school later. He was hiding out on the playground in his boxers with his face covered in ice cream.
Boy, what a low moment.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to describe it.
I think that's it. We all have our breaking point. We're like, that's the bottom.
That was the one.
That's the day where I hit rock bottom, and I think the ice cream on the face and what has happened is the moment.
Hi, my name's Jacob, and I want to tell you about the time I bottomed out and how I knew there was nowhere to go but up.
People are like, no, I'm sure that could have been worse, and then they hear a story like, nah, it's pretty bad. That could be it.
You know what, Jacob, you're right. That was pretty bad, man. It's pretty bad.
Well, lesson learned for everybody else.
Well, 2 lessons learned. 1, if you're breaking and entering, leave your clothes on. And 2, maybe don't break and enter. Is that?
Well, maybe don't break and enter and take the ice cream, too.
See how many rules we just laid down?
Aren't we just a show of no's?
That's all you guys do.
No.
That's all you guys do is tell me no.
We just tell you what to do.
I need to find a show that empowers me.
The riot's motto, Carpe Cupcake. Those are words to live by. Radio U.
Last night we had game night. So if you're looking for something to watch, participate in, you can spend... We actually did 2 live events yesterday. We did both the actual live event, playing Ticket to Ride, and then the pre-event, which was...
the Ticket to Snacks.
Mm-hmm.
We went snack shopping. Hudson joined us for both of those. So you go to our Radio U Facebook page, both live events are located there. So take some time this weekend or maybe Monday. We're off. So if you're off too, you can watch some of it then.
I'll tell you, of the things we sampled last night,
Food-wise?
We tried a bunch of different food last night that we hadn't had before. We had hot Skittles.
Those were good.
Very good.
Not hot like at all. They're sweet heat Skittles.
Yes.
So there's definitely a lot of sweetness still in there. They were not too much heat. It was just really nice.
I was surprised by just how good they
Those
actually were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like... they had something there, Nikki. They really did. So we tried those. We tried, what was it, like mozzarella
and marinara.
Ruffles.
We tried those.
Those were delicious.
I didn't like those as much as you did, but it seemed like you really liked it.
Which is odd because you love cheese sticks.
I do.
And I like cheese sticks, but not like you do.
And I like chips, so I should have been all over that.
I don't know what it was about those chips in particular, but I just thought they were spectacular.
We tried the new Chipotle Ranch Ranch Cheetos. Those were good.
They were.
Again, not anything extremely hot at all.
Right. So we had that, and what else did we have?
We had all-dressed chips, which we had a lot.
We've had those before.
We've had those many times before. Nothing new. Doritos. You
Spicy
had some spicy
nacho
ones.
Doritos. I love those.
And I think that's about it.
Did you say the Cheetos? The Chipotle?
Yeah, the Chipotle ones.
I didn't like those.
The Chipotle Ranch. But those, again, were not super hot, even though everything looked like it was supposed to be flaming.
Right. Well, I will say, of all the things that we ate last night, those were the hottest. At least I perceived them to be the hottest.
Maybe we should go have another round of chips. What do you think?
I actually was thinking that maybe
Mosey on into the break
little
room.
bit of them marinara chips or whatever the heck it was. I could go for a little bit of those.
Might not be bad.
Wouldn't be the worst.
So you can watch our Facebook Live event again and our snack shopping if you go to Radio U and Radio U Riot on Facebook. Make sure to follow both the pages while you're there and sign up to be notified. You have to like the page and follow it, so then when we do a live event or post something, it won't get lost in your feed or you won't see it. It'll actually show to you.
Mm-hmm. So you know what to do. Make sure you're always with us.
Not in a weird way, but in a nice way.
Doesn't have to be weird. I just like to whisper sometimes.
When life is this good, you don't need a vacation. So, get back to work. It's The Riot on Radio U.
If there was one brand that you associated Nikki with, what would it be?
Apple, probably.
Of course. But if there were two brands that you associated Nikki with, what would they be?
Oh, that's a good question. Should I know this one?
Nikki's a double A.
A what?
She's an Amazon and an Apple.
Yes, that works.
Those are the two A's in her life right now. So we all know Apple, blah, 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 whatever. But let's talk about Amazon. They're raising the price on her.
That's okay. I have until next year.
Okay.
But then for Amazon Prime, and I try not to focus on that side of things.
You don't like to talk about money?
The negatives?
You know what, Nikki?
Amazon loves.
As someone who doesn't like to talk about money, that makes you a perfect candidate for both Apple and Amazon.
For both of them, like, this is why we love her.
We're lifestyle brands. And
That's
you know what?
all right.
Let's not talk about dirty little things like money.
My love has it doesn't change
No
based
price
on the
tag.
money. No, that's correct.
You know what? And we love that about you, Nikki. Just that
It's unwavering.
steadfastness, the way you do that. It's fantastic. So Amazon made their announcement about price going up, and they're trying all this different stuff. But I got one more little value add for you here, Nikki.
What is it?
Amazon is going to be letting you track your packages with a real-time map tracking tool.
Oh, yeah.
So apparently last November was launched to a limited number of people, but now it is opening up for everybody. Now, you just got really excited, but here's what you got to understand. This is only if Amazon is delivering your package.
Not if just you bought something from anywhere.
So if UPS is delivering your package, no real-time tracking.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't get that.
If FedEx is delivering your package,
no
real-time tracking.
Because Amazon did say they're really going to jump into the shipping, doing it themselves.
That person that, like, why is that person in that car showing up in my driveway, dropping off that package?
Not wearing any uniform, but someone has suddenly hired them out to do this. No real-time tracking.
That gets real-time tracking.
Oh, it does?
Right, because...
Well, it's an individual.
That's their thing that they're doing.
That's too
right
bad.
there.
I really thought it was going to be UPS then.
Yeah, no. Sorry.
I really like to know where my package is.
So, like,
I don't need to know.
It's not enough anymore for it just to be like, all right, my package is out for delivery. It's like,
I
yeah,
don't
but
trust
where?
it.
What do they mean by out?
Hey, we have all sat there going, it's past the time normally your packages get delivered and something says OFD and you're telling yourself it's not going to come. There must be a problem. What's wrong? And you get no update.
Maybe I need to go to bed because Santa only comes when you go to
feel
bed.
like that. You're like, what's going on? And then you either get it real late at night at some weird time or it magically appears on your porch or you get the other notification saying there was an issue and you're not going to get it.
Yeah, I've been through all of those.
That.
I have.
So we wouldn't have to have that mental war going on about the package if it just told us where it was.
You know what I think would be interesting? What if a company came out and said, hey, guys, you know what? We're not going to do as much as we used to. We're cutting services, but we're going to lower the price. What if they said that? And instead they're like, no. We've got a bunch of services you're not going to use, and we raise the price.
Well, you mean Amazon.
You know what? Like, I didn't say Amazon.
Any retailer with that.
Just something on the side. We're like, hey, you know what? We're not going to spend $1 billion on a TV show you don't want to watch. and we're going to pass that savings on to you.
Hey, you'll watch that one. You're going to watch Lord of the Rings Amazon show.
I don't want to watch it. I don't want
to, though.
I don't want to.
What?
I don't want to because they want me to.
Okay. We're whining again.
With virtual reality, the possibilities are endless. It gives us the ability to live out any of our wildest dreams. So maybe we can use it to pretend the riot doesn't exist. The Riot on Radio U.
You know, I heard somebody once say that there is a point in your childhood in which you either, if you're this kind of person, you either start watching wrestling or you read comic books. And
you go one way or the other?
Their argument was that you might do both for a while, and that at some point there's a divergence where you're like, no, I'm going this way, you're going that way.
But to somebody who's never liked wrestling or comic books, I always associate probably thinking that one person would really enjoy both of them.
Seems like both.
Yeah.
Well, you look at it. You've got, pretty intense physical specimens in spandex, basically, men and women, all dressed up with themes and characters.
That sounds like superhero stuff, which is just like comic books.
I know. I've never made the connection until recently, and it bothers me a little bit because I really don't like wrestling. But then when it was explained to me that I went down the other path, it was like, oh gosh, now I'm even less comfortable.
You could see that.
And yet I understand it. So WWE, it's big. Now, a lot of people have speculated, they launched their app a year or two ago. And when you get that, you get, I don't know how much it is a month, but like you get all the pay-per-views, you get all these archives, and then also you get the live events, I guess, 30 days after. So like the TV stuff. But right now, WWE, SmackDown, and Raw, they're both live and they're both on USA, except something just happened.
What happened?
That kind of blows my mind. WWE SmackDown is moving to Fox. So it's going from USA to a broadcast network.
Yeah.
And it's going to be live starting in 2019. So, and that's on, I think it's on Thursday nights.
I'm sorry.
Don't hate me.
Thursday nights on like Fox?
No, I'm wrong. Fox, it's going to be on Friday nights.
Friday nights?
So Friday nights on Fox, WWE SmackDown.
Will be live?
Live. And let's talk money, Nikki. This was a $1 billion deal.
Not surprised.
Whoa.
And so every Friday? Every Friday night?
It kind of makes
wrestling?
It kind of makes sense because what's the one thing that is worth all the money when it comes to cable and TV and all of that? Sports.
Sports, true.
Live sports. So they know that you are more likely to watch SmackDown live than you are to record it. I'm not saying you wouldn't, but their hope is that you would watch it live and you would see the advertising and you could get some ratings on,
and that
on a
is
live
very
event.
smart because why broadcast networks go for sports more often is they're dying for you to watch live.
Yes.
Like that has hurt them so much because we don't watch anything anymore, let alone if we do watch something, it's never live except for sports. So it's a good move, I would think, for Fox to grab after that.
The only appointment TV in my entire life is the Ohio State University Buckeyes.
College football.
That's it.
That's all you
College
got.
football. It's the only thing that I watch live. And it annoys me to no end because it's like, hey, how many times do you want to see the Nissan commercial where the girl's, dodging the Imperial Walker?
That bothered you last season? I wonder what that'll mean for the app then. Will it be the same deal where you can't watch stuff until 30 days later or?
I don't know.
Curious
I
if
don't
that
know.
changes anything since Fox would want to drive you to them.
Well, a lot of people thought that app was like the signal of, hey, wrestling's going to get smaller and it's just going to have like this small audience. But no, $1 billion TV deal. It's crazy.
Having a bad day? Blame the Riot. Everyone else does. And in fairness, it's probably their fault. Radio U.
So, Nikki, for you, what is the temperature at which you feel like it has now become appropriate to go swimming?
To go swimming?
Mm-hmm.
Really depends on, to me, the water source.
Okay.
Like certain oceans, I never feel like it's
Ever?
warm up enough. But then others are fine. But for a pool, I kind of like it warmer. I don't like when it's too cold. So even if it's 90 out, but it's still newly 90, the water hasn't sat long enough to warm up.
In the heat?
So you got to get into the summer a little bit before the pool starts being warm enough.
How long do you need? How many weeks does it need? It's 90 degrees for a week?
I'd say maybe a week or two, yeah.
Okay. All right. Because I'm just wondering, because I keep going outside and it's like, it's hot. It's hot.
Well, I was where I live. There's a workout club and a pool, and they have the pool
Indoor,
open.
outdoor?
It's outdoor.
Okay.
And we only
Is it heated?
We only just newly got it last year, so I don't know if it's heated or not. I think most places are too cheap to heat it, so you have to kind of wait, even though it's probably open. It's if you can stand the cold.
That's probably a good point. I mean, like when I got up this morning, it was 58 degrees
It's not warm
outside.
enough,
So, I
yeah.
mean, it's not really, it's hot for some of the day.
But not the big body of water.
Yeah.
It's not going to be hot enough for that. But I just looked at it. I was like, I want to jump in.
I know.
Right away.
I don't swim very often, but a
It's
couple times a
great.
year, it's just hot enough. And you're like, man, I really want to go swimming. And I have got the swimming bug. I'm just like, which means I can't get in the pool.
It's like, what type of bug is it?
That's gross,
You're not
bro.
supposed to.
No,
if not, you got to find a place that heats it, which most don't, or go
indoor. And you know what? Indoor to me, I'm like, why am I even doing this? I mean, during the winter, sure, but it's really sunny outside. I want to get out there and get in the water.
And we just have to jump in.
Yeah.
Or get a baby pool so then it takes less time to heat up.
Okay. Is there a stigma against that? If I got,
It doesn't have to be a kid's pool, but like Costco has the smaller inflatable pool, so
Yeah.
it's still like a tiny pool.
I feel like we have this discussion every year.
We do. We're always like, we're buying a cheap pool. I saw one for like $600, and I can't have it.
600?
Well,
that's
it's
not cheap.
It's above ground pool.
Oh, sure.
But I can't have that in my neighborhood. It's against the rules.
Okay.
But man, it looks nice.
How far do we have to dig down to make it not against the rules?
Good call on that one. You're like,
not
she dug her whole yard up.
It's not above ground.
Then I'm just buying a disposable liner for the yard. People do that, they say, with like trash cans or dumpsters. You line it, and then there's a pool.
Yeah, but and I get that. I do. I just don't feel.
That's more if you're in the city.
I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can jump in my trash can and swim around.
Even if it's brand new, I don't think I can. I don't think I can either.
There's just something about it that says no. I can't.
It's a shame. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, tis the season. It's starting.
I'm feeling like I want to go to the pool, but the only other problem I have is that I don't like going to the pool and hanging out for hours. I get sunburned too easily. So when I say I want to go to the pool, I'm looking for like 10 or 20 minutes.
Tops.
And then I'm good. I mean, I don't need to hang out. I don't need to whatever. I'm going to swim for a few minutes. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to get out now. And they're like, well, it was $15 to get in. So, that was $1 per minute in the pool.
Remind me if you want to swim, I'll give you the fob to the one near me.
Oh, you don't want to roll up to that pool and see me there.
I'm not going at that time, but I mean, if you want to use it, you can.
You're like, hey, Eric, we've got to come back.
So, there's been a problem at the pool.
Hey, Nikki! He sees us. Okay, keep going.
It's one of the codes.
Pretend you didn't hear him. Just pretend you can't hear him.
This was the worst of the riots, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The Riot exists because Radio U exists, and Radio U only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
So if you cover our eyes, stick something up our nose,
And lock us in a room with no food.
then we are guaranteed to lose some weight.